My name is AP, and for the last 6 years I have been creating a new country, the Empire of Aeternia. Together with my girlfriend Tiff, we have been building an online presence, purchasing our first territory, and getting it ready for its very first resident. Now we face possibly our biggest challenge yet, talking to local Alabamians to see what they think about a new country sprouting up in their backyard. All of this for a shot at turning some dissatisfied community members into new Aeternian citizens. This is The Hunt.
Somewhere by the emerald sea, where the moon and water meet, somewhere close to harmony, when the world is sound asleep.
Up first, we stopped at art place Lowe Mille to talk to some unsuspecting locals about the concept of Aeternia. And they tolerated it. Hello all newcomers and welcome back my fellow Aeternians. As always, it's me, AP, and today we have with us
Darian. Andre.
Modest.
Logan.
L, hi.
So today we're talking to people about the Empire of Aeternia, kind of what we do, and trying to get some feedback. Have you ever heard of a micronation?
I think I have, yes.
So we're trying to start a micronation, and essentially what that is it's an unrecognized country. It's something that's not a country like the US or any other country that is recognized and acknowledged by other countries. So the reason that we're doing this is essentially because we feel like a lot of the policies and a lot of the ways that life in the US is pretty unjust. And so we're trying to create methods for people to kind of slowly wean themselves off of that. So, for example, right now we have a property called Vitae, completely undeveloped. We're trying to build housing there and provide food for people who are underserved and underprivileged. So we have some businesses that we're trying to start to help fund all this so that the people who are taking advantage of it and getting benefits don't have to pay for it. So right now we're doing like a metals refining business where we're melting down metals and trying to make custom items to sell for people.
So to live on your land, the people have to give up their citizenship?
No, not at all. Everybody who's a part of Aeternia is in some way connected to some other country. So for example, I'm a US citizen. I haven't renounced my US citizenship, but I think there's a better way to live, and so I'm ascribing to Aeternian citizenship. And over time, the more people that we get, the more we're able to do. We would like that to be taken more and more seriously, and for people to really proudly represent themselves as Aeternians.
Some other things I've seen is also, don't forget, vertical farming. It's going up rather than out a lot of times can maximize your space. So.
Absolutely. We've also, aside from plants themselves, we've been looking into things like aquaponics, where you have fish and you help them to contribute to your fertilizer and stuff like that.
I've seen stuff like that.
But that is a little bit far off. Right now what we're trying to do is raise awareness for what we're doing and trying to see if we can get more people to support us. So
I gotcha.
If you are interested at all, you can definitely check out our YouTube channel.
Yes.
We have stuff there. And if you're interested, we have a Patreon where you can become a citizen for $1 a month. In fact, they even had some very nice things to say.
Well, I mean, it's not everything works the same for each person. I think it's good to be an individual and make our own decisions and try for something new and different. That's how we got to a lot of the systems that we already are a part of, is by exploring and trying something new. So
absolutely,
definitely explore and figure out what works best for you.
No, I think y'all should do more publicizing about it, and it would be great if y'all had some volunteering opportunities for service groups.
Absolutely, that's a great idea. I appreciate it. Cool deal. Is there anything else you guys want to know? Any questions?
I don't have any questions. It sounds pretty cool.
That's for sure something Huntsville could use.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you.
But locals don't want Aeternia mansplaining. So we went down to the camp to ask the new Liberal Party what they think. So we were kind of curious on your views for maybe, sometimes the world may not be going the way that you want. And so what may be a theme that you would focus on to change first?
In my world, I have a lot of things to be grateful for and thankful for. So I try to focus on the positive. But you know, the older I get, the more I'm like less interested in telling people how to live. I feel like I have a good grasp on my life and how I want it to go, and I don't feel like other people should tell me how to live.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish that more people were that way, like getting in people's business and kind of stuff like that. But as far as like, you know, the principle of like a social safety net, I really believe that there's a lot of problems out there, and the system may or may not have been designed to kind of stay stagnant. So, you know, I have a lot of empathy when it comes to, and sympathy when it comes to people that don't have my background and they come from a different background. I have a lot of sympathy and empathy for that. And as far as specifics, you know, that's above my head.
What politically do you think that like would be more of a focus for like our society to maybe like change to like help people better?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, we're in Alabama, so the bar is very low as far as like what can be changed. Everything can be changed.
Yeah.
And it should be. We should be experimenting with different things. And as of right now, we are in a state that has some of the most conservative laws on the ballot. I fundamentally disagree with all of those laws. Whether or not I identify as the new liberal or not, it doesn't matter. That is enough of a change towards what I believe in, which is equality and people and community. So I'm here to support that. Just any change.
My politics can be wrapped up in a very simple sentence. Just don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
It all comes down to that. If what you're doing is lifting up one people group at the expense of another, if you're pushing down someone to make someone else feel like they're elevated when they're really just in the same place, you're being a jerk.
Yeah.
Right? You're being a jerk to somebody. So if you can put everything you do through that filter, am I being a jerk? Or is what I'm doing, is it equally beneficial for everyone around me? In my sphere, outside of my sphere, is what I'm doing good for the greater people? That's the thing that should be done.
Here recently in Huntsville, we're like growing more and more. And so there's a lot of like companies up like in the eastern area, like New York, New Jersey, who are like coming closer, and then they're like jacking up the prices. And it's making it like really hard for the rest of us around here to like try to live or like find a place to stay. So instead it's like taking a really long time to like build up enough money if you're like in the lower classes.
Yeah, those are good points. Like, you know, you want to live somewhere where you're thriving, right? And you want to be intentional about that. And this is a great area. You know, you're right. And it is changing before our very eyes. So, as far as like, you know, homelessness and putting food in on people's tables, like to me, there's not a lot that's more meaningful. Like when I see, you know, churches or organizations that are putting boots on the ground and feeding people, to me that's as meaningful as it gets. You know, and my take on homelessness is like it's tragic, and it's kind of interesting to see the growth in Huntsville and to consider everything that you talked about, the cost, and how it has such a buzz going around the country, and all these people are coming. Not just people, not just like engineers and their families, but entities, like you said, like corporations that see what's happening here and they're like, I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to get it. And then what does that do to the rest of? What does that do to a certain part of the population? It pushes us out. You know?
Yeah.
I fully believe in community. Building a community, having neighbors that help each other out, people watching out for other people.
You guys talking about like neighbors like helping out each other. That kind of leads me into like similarly what we're trying to do is we got this like land out in Pinson over by like Birmingham, and we have since only put up a couple posts and kind of connected a couple boards, but it's expensive to try to build a shelter, so it's taken a moment. So instead we moved over to like something that's much simpler, like building a garden, to try to like once we get our vegetation up, we can go and share it with like anyone around us who may need it. And if we end up with extra, then I guess me and him will use it to try to help us continue, as we're both college students at the moment. So need help.
Community gardens are amazing. I know that when I'm from Youngstown, Ohio. Okay, it's one of those really forgotten cities in the Rust Belt, and it's some of the weirdest economy you will ever come across. It's a microeconomy, but there's no jobs, and there's a lot of people in, very dire straits when it comes to money. And I'll tell you what, those community gardens have saved quite a few people from, hunger.
Yeah.
I know my family relied on them quite a bit, and I think community gardens are just one of the easiest ways that you can set up something that benefits your area completely, and it's something that everybody can get behind. I like the idea of a good commune, like people taking care of each other and everybody working for the greater goal and working for that community. And community gardens and libraries, those are great things to start building toward that.
All right, TC, did you want to say anything on that, or?
No, I'm with her all the way.
All right.
We gotta be hand in hand in these things.
Yeah, and so what our YouTube channel is about is kind of like trying to gather a community that like works together to like help to build shelters for like people who don't like have a home, or like we just started a garden here recently, and so like once all of our vegetation like grows out, we're gonna try to give about half of it away, and like the other half to like either help us like sustain life or like someone else close to us.
That's great. That's great. Like I said, that's super meaningful. Like a communal garden. Anytime I pass one, I'm driving around and I pass one, my heart is always a little bit warmer. It's like, because you live, doesn't matter where you live, like, and doesn't matter where you are on any of these ideas, but you're gonna get along if you're reasonable, if you're like a kind person, good natured. You're gonna get along with your neighbors.
Yeah.
So if you can team up with them and I mean, I would be glad to get involved with. Like the construction side of the homeless problem, like with your YouTube channel. I would love that. Just putting my hands to work.
All right.
That'd be great. Keep me in mind.
If you are super interested after this interview, you can either get a hold of our email for our YouTube channel or subscribe. We also have Patreon. And even outside of all of those like medias and ways to pay us, you can also make us stuff, and we put it up on our Etsy, and we use the money that we make to like add to the shelter or like to add to our garden.
I like the idea of a good commune, like people taking care of each other and everybody working for the greater goal and working for that community. And community gardens and libraries, those are great things to start building toward that.
All right, TC, did you want to say anything on that, or?
No, I'm with her all the way. All
right.
We gotta be hand in hand in these things.
Yeah, and that's how like we feel. We've been trying to gather more people to try to jump on our thing, and like we get it. There's long drives, or maybe schedules don't work out that super great. But even like finding support, whether like through a Patreon or just people watching and liking our like YouTube channel, or even like. We have this other thing set up so that if you really can't like pay anything or whatever, you can try to tell us what kind of skill that you have, and then you make something, we put up on our Etsy, we sell it, we give you a percentage of the sale, and then that way you made some money back, and we got to make more money to try to throw towards building these shelters either up higher or making a larger garden to give out more food. Do you two think that you might be like interested in doing any of those? Like, it's a wide variety. You don't have to like completely support us, but.
Well, my thing is I'm really good at branding, marketing, that sort of thing, as well as my job is I make weird t-shirts, and I'm a crazy artist. Like I don't have an Etsy anymore. I started my own website, but I make weird Furbies, and God, we have so many paintings sitting around. I will just give you a bunch of paintings. Like, just please take them, sell them, do what you can. I just want people to enjoy my art, and if it goes toward a good cause, I believe in, community.
Yes,
I like what
please.
you're doing.
Please take a stack of art from our house.
Please. I will give you art.
Good.
What's your website?
Oh, my website. I should plug it. I run hack.xxx. It's one of the first XXX accounts. So like my partner that runs the shop with me, he had to register as a porn producer in order to get that XXX domain. But I'm also a part of a hacking organization called the Cult of the Dead Cow. And I don't know, I just do shit on the internet for funsies.
That's very cool. I hope that it continues to increase in sales.
Thank you. And I also hope that y'all are able to set up a good community. And I'd love to be a part of it however I can.
All right, that sounds very good. So you don't have to give money, even if you can give just some amount of time. It'd be super helpful.
I'm super down.
All right, thank you then.
I love that. I'll keep that in mind for sure. I appreciate what you guys are doing.
Yeah, thank you. Since they're getting started their comedian show, I'm probably going to cut it short. This way we don't, the microphones aren't going to do so well. So it was nice to talk to you, Zach.
So much, Tiffany, yes.
Stop putting people down.
Don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk. With some new local support and their opinions fresh on our mind, the only thing stopping us now is the size of our treasury.
So is Aeternia doomed to financial ruin, or do we have what it takes to turn ideas into dollars and sell to local businesses? Next time on
The Hunt.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you guys may want to talk about, like as far as politically, that you would like other people to like know, or?
I just want to remind everybody that we are in Alabama, and they want to believe, Alabama does its best to make you believe that if you are a Democrat or you are somebody that has some progressive ideals, that you are an outsider here. The reality is you're not. There are a lot of us weirdos here, and we should be connecting to each other more. I think the current state of the government and the political leanings of this country at the moment want you to believe that everybody is so different and that we are all disconnected and we are all an island. But I don't think so. I think that there's like-minded people no matter where you're at, and that there are a lot more of us than you think, and that, we can do a lot more together.
Don't let the loud vocal minority make you feel isolated.
Yeah.
We're here, we're out there, we're normally at karaoke bars, so come and find us.